affirmations work because even if you say I'm not enough, I don't do enough, and I don't have enough, is an affirmation, and so that is proof that it works.
This is By Joey Joanne Season 2. I'm your host, Joanne Chan, and every Wednesday we bring you inspiring stories, powerful message, and fun conversations with me and my special guests and friends, and it's my personal mission to empower you to live and lead a life with joy. This podcast is for you if you're looking for more joy, courage, passion, and purpose in your life. Now let's dive into today's episode and get ready to laugh, learn, and live your life to the fullest. Joining us today is an executive coach, author, and the creator of the Game of 10, a powerful awareness based framework helping leaders operate at their highest level of clarity, confidence, and performance. It's over 47 years of real world business experience, having grown a company from $200,000 to $2 million in annual revenue. He has also presented his coaching process to the Harvard Business School case study team and works with executives, entrepreneurs, and high achievers who want more than just financial success. He's also the co-author of The Father, the Son, and the Aha Moment, and is currently writing his next book. So he's here today to help you understand how the mind works and how to let go of limiting thought patterns to unlock a level of effectiveness, fulfillment, and leadership that many people spend their entire lives searching for. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming the creator of the Game of Tens, the one and only Steve Barton.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, and I'm looking forward to talking to you and your audience and discovering new insights of joy and creativity. And let's begin.
Thank you so much for your time, for taking the time to be here in the morning. And I would like to start off with talking about how did you manage to grow a business, a company from 200,000 to $2 million, because your work is all about mindset, right? And you work with a lot of executives, entrepreneurs, high achievers. I want to know for yourself, looking back, what were the biggest mindset shifts that make the level of growth and success possible for you?
Good question. It's a lot. It will take hours. 30 years of growth. I think the biggest aha moment for me was when I decided to go to therapy. I was 13 years into the business, and I realized that I had everything in the world I wanted, and I wasn't happy. And so I went to a therapist, and he asked me that same question. I told him that answer. Anyways, I said that was messed up, and he goes, "Yeah," and he goes, I go, "How long is it going to take, and what can I expect?" And what he said was, typically I say 3 months, you're halfway there. I knew I was messed up. That having everything in the world and not having joy or happiness in your life, then something's wrong. I wanted to make a change. And he was right. Within 6 weeks, I had amazing awakenings, events that are paranormal, natural. It changed my life, and it changed the lives of the people around me. But I was different. I became a different person that was just happy. And I can say I've been happy every day for 34 years. Even when I'm going through some difficult times, I'm happy growing. Okay. So I look at it from a different perspective than a lot of people, that life can be hard, especially when you're growing. And if you're not having growing pains, which are emotional growing pains and physical growing pains, you aren't moving, and um, you're not doing what you are meant to do, is to really recreate and recreate here on earth. So same word, different syllable, emphasis on the syllables. So we are here to play and have joy. So
I love that. I mean, it's so rare for me to hear someone says they have been happy for 34 years. That's what you said, right?
yeah,
Because many successful people appear to have everything on the outside, just like you had, but still struggle internally. I was one of them as well. So why do you think achievement alone doesn't create happiness or fulfillment?
Well, it's focusing on outside objects, and money, career, reputation, building a brand, building a service, showing up. There's a lot of outside and not dealing with the inside. So to be happy and joyful, your inside does always matches your outside. To me, happiness is a choice that I hold sacred and keep healthy boundaries with. So, for anyone to get into my sphere of friends or acquaintances or things that they my happiness and my joy is sacred to me. That it's just a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's not an option anymore for me. I'm always happy. And sometimes people misunderstand what happiness is. Most of the time, I'm content. But people think they have to be, elated or having fun. Or I think most of the time, content is just the joy that is comfortable. And then you want to grow, and then you get out of your comfort zone. And how do you maintain that joy and happiness while you're growing, physically, mentally? Spirit's fine. People come to me and say, I want to heal my spirit. Well, I say, honey, your spirit's fine. You just need to align with it, with your mind and body, and know that you are enough. And so, yeah, that's my outlook of it. It seems to work. I'm sticking to it.
Great. So you created this framework. It's called the Game of Tent. I wanted to have you on the show to talk about it. So, what is the Game of Ten, and how does it help high performing individuals eliminate self doubt, fear, guilt, and shame?
Yep. Well, here's my understanding that to be successful in any business relationship, with self, others, partners, intimate, strategic, you have to have the foundation set. And happy, healthy, abundant, healed, and whole is the foundation. And it's based on awareness versus thought. And my definition of awareness is without thought. So coming from that place of clarity without thought, and the people go to me, he goes, what do you mean? You got to think. I said, yes, thoughts are great, but come from the place of clarity, alignment with who we energetically, spiritually are, aligned, and then use your thoughts as a tool from this place in this space of awareness. The tenets of the game of 10, want to play the game of 10 with me? There's 6 phrases.
Okay, I didn't know it's a game that we can play. Sure.
Yeah, well, of course, it's a game, and most people playing the game often played, which is the opposite of what you just said. Well, is the fear, self doubt, guilt, and shame 1 through 9, each element. So when we declare ourselves as 10, we're declaring ourselves as consciousness, conscious awareness. That is who we came into this world as, and then we came in this as appointed 10. So think of it as an appointment that we need to keep all the time,
Okay.
but we choose to keep all the time. When I say I'm happy all the time, I choose to keep that appointment all the time. That's my responsibility. So repeat after me. I'm 10.
I am 10.
Yes, you are. I'm doing the best that I can with the awareness that I have.
I'm doing the best that I can with the awareness that I have.
I'm always right with the awareness that I have.
I'm always right with the awareness that I have.
I am enough.
I'm enough.
I do enough.
I do enough.
I have enough.
I have enough.
That answers all the questions our egoic mind asks ourselves all day long. And sometimes it chatters all night long. So it answers all the questions. So it keeps our mind aligned and clear. That is one of the premises. What happens is we get disappointed by someone saying we're not good enough, we don't do enough, we don't have enough, you're not right, you're not doing your best. Okay. So when we accept those lies or truth, and we take it on as our identity, we disappoint ourselves. nine through one, nine being the least disappointed, one being the most disappointed. And those are levels of awareness that I call the game often played until we take that leap of faith to 10 where everything's working for me. Everything's working out perfectly. I don't know what I don't know. So letting go of the need to know. I don't know why I'm going through this, but I'm going through it. It's difficult, sure. I'm growing, great. So what the game of 10 does, I teach people to fill in the gap. And that gap is letting go of those disappointments that we were told from the past that no longer serve us in this present moment. And how do we do it? It's called forgiveness. It's called letting go. It's so people can do it in any way they choose to. I was taught by Marianne Williamson a great way to do it. Um, During COVID, I got to meet her. I did miracle minded coaching with her, and she was also one of my writing coaches, which I was very fortunate to have her. 7 times New York Times bestseller, 13-time author. So she told me an exercise that I taught a minister, and he goes, "Oh my God, I never thought of it that way." If you want to be a teacher, how to let, because when you do say these phrases, your subconscious, you're in your consciousness. So your subconscious and your conscious are open, and all these negative, limiting mindset beliefs will come up. So those are what we want to let go of, and those are based on fear 1 through 9, self doubt 1 through 9, guilt I did something bad, you did something bad 1 through 9, and shame I am bad, you are bad 1 through 9. So this is what we want to let go of, so that we can get back. We never left 10, but our perception or perspective did leave. And whatever level we get down to, whether it's a minor disappointment or a severe trauma, we can oftentimes stay in that level of awareness. So and then what happens is we attract that in our life. So yeah, someone who at a 1 and someone at a 10 talking to each other, they're going to say, "Are you crazy? Life isn't good. You don't have no idea what it's like. You haven't seen it. You don't know. You haven't been in my shoes." So the key is to get to that level, to get back, to be reminded, to remember, because we get disappointed. So the gap is where a lot of addictions come in, a lot of negative self-talk comes in. It always wants to fill it in, but usually it does it with overthinking, drugs, alcohol, sex, anything that overtakes us to make us feel like temporarily that we're connected.
Okay, so how do we know, when someone listening, how do we know that what are some of the ways that we can identify at which level we are currently operating at?
Every time I talk to someone new, a new client or anything, everyone kind of knows where they're at. I ask them, yeah, I mean, just ask yourself. I don't want to put you on the spot. So ask yourself and you ask your audience on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy, healthy, wealthy, healed, and whole are you? Don't think about it. Just have that number in your head. And then that's where I work from. I do have a discovery form that I use to go to make sure. And typically people are right on. They're right on with where they say they are. So people know when they're not, things are off. But oftentimes people use this gap as a motivator. I'm a 7. I know I can do better. I can have more. I can be more. I know that I'll be happy when. And the answer is no, you won't. You might be happy when you get that promotion, when you get that relationship, when you get that child, when you get that, but you're always going to go back to the level of your awareness after, until you let go of the fear, self doubt, guilt, and shame thoughts or ideas that we internalized and don't know how to let go of. So I'll go back to how to let go.
Yeah.
So in our minds, above our ears, we have 2 temples, right? So Marianne Williamson described it like this: we're an idea in the mind of God, God's an idea in the mind of us. Okay? It's an idea, it's a concept, it's beyond, it's infinite. How do you describe these words? Source, divine, consciousness. They're infinite words. Love, they're all infinite words. Enough, present moment, infinite. So create a temple. Everybody out there, create a temple in your mind. Doesn't have to be religious. It has to be sacred. Okay. So because we are sacred beings, whether we admit it or not. And so create a temple in your mind, and in that temple, create an altar. And this place has to be kept sacred and clean all the time. So this is a place where we take these thoughts that we want to let go of, that no longer serve us, of in the categories: I'm not 10, I'm not doing the best I can, I'm not right, I'm not enough, I don't do enough, I don't have it. Anything that fits within those categories. Like, I'm not loved, I'm not being loving. Anything like that. Any thoughts about it. People think they have to forgive the person, place, or situation that harmed them or disappointed them. But the fact is, we have to forgive the story that we created, the thoughts and the story that we created that happened. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. Doesn't mean it wasn't tragic. Doesn't mean it wasn't horrific. But we don't have to have it define us and control us any longer.
I love that.
So take any thoughts, put them on the altar. And if you're going to say anything, say something like, I'm willing to see this differently. Because we're willing to take it in, we have to be willing to let it go. And the more we let go of those thoughts of being less than 10, we get to that level of awareness back.
Mm. Yeah, I know. Before our recording, you talk about your aha moment for today, and you wanted to talk about the power of enough. And we don't talk about that enough, right? We don't talk about that enough. So, but the concept sounds counterintuitive in a world that constantly tells us to do more, be more, buy more, achieve more, right? Why is operating from enough such a powerful competitive advantage?
Because when you operate from enough, you're not coming from a place of lack, of needing, wanting. You're not coming from a place of entitlement. You're not coming from a place of fear, self doubt, guilt, and shame. You're coming from a place of abundance. You're coming from a place of joy. You're coming from a place of gratitude, grace. So when you come from this I am enough place, that opens up you to attract that. It's a law of attraction. I like simplicity. We are energetic beings. Our heart's a magnet. Our brain is a receiver. Our heart's a magnet. So we attract who we are, not what we want.
Okay. And the other thing I want to talk to you about is intuition, because
Mhm.
you talk about successful leaders, they need to develop intuition, not just strategy. And that is, again, I think a lot of people, even for myself, right, it's difficult for me to trust my intuition rather than just like be logical, be realistic, and look at the numbers, look at the fact, and make a decision about it, right? So how do you help leaders develop intuition, and most importantly, learn to trust it?
Yep, good question. And when you do get aligned with 10 after saying those phrases, it takes practice. For a nanosecond after saying those phrases, you might have a brief moment of being aligned. But our mind is so addicted to thinking and not using these tools. Okay, so thoughts are tools, feelings are tools, emotions are tools. Our mind is a tool, our body is a tool, our identity is a tool, our ego is a tool, our skills levels are tools. Those can all be developed. Okay, but who we are, awareness, is always the state of 10. All right, so in that state of 10, we are intentional, intuitive, energetic beings in that moment. So the intuition downloads as an idea, and then we go into our tool shed, consciously or subconsciously, and have a thought attached to it. That's the first form of physicality, the thought, the synapse in the brain. And then how do we create this intuitive thought and turn it into physical manifestation of what our world is that we're creating? Whether it can be a team, whether it's building a house, whether it's building a business. So we build, it first has to come in as an idea. The Cleveland Clinic years ago did a study that we have 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of those thoughts are from the past. 80% of those thoughts are negative. So that's pretty bad odds. So if you're going to be full of thought, always thinking, and and then you get it down, then you're always connected to 10, and then you could download a idea, and where to go. It went in with those 60,000 other thoughts, and you're going, no wonder you get a self doubt. Now, which one is it? Which one do I choose? Do I did this one come in from the past, or this is a current one? So this is where the doubt comes in. That our head is so full. Oftentimes, that's why it's a game often played. Oftentimes, people have their minds so full of thoughts from the past they can't figure out which one is the current present moment one that's going to be the solution in the present moment right now.
Yeah. So for someone listening right now, they know they are being held back by fear, limiting beliefs, self doubt, all the overthinking, negative thoughts, right? What is the first practical step they can take towards operating at a 10?
They can say those phrases because it will brainwash you. If you don't brainwash yourself, someone else is going to brainwash. So I love brainwashing myself. I'm washing my mind of thoughts continuously. Some days I'll just say any thought I have in my head right now on the altar. Okay, whether I have to take a wheelbarrow, whether you have to take a dump truck, whether I have to take one. I want to have a clear mind so I can download um, from intuition, and then using in intentionality. Do I set big goals? I set huge goals for myself. Huge. Why? Because I know I'm going to get it. Because at 10, you get 100% of what you ask for. From 9, you get 90%. From 8, you get 80%. From 5, you get 50%. From 1, you get 10%. It really sucks being one, two, three, four. Okay, five, 50 50. I got a new client. I go, what on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? He said five. So you have good days and you have bad days. Good, yeah. you know,
Do you meditate? Just curious.
well, yeah, I have ADHD. My son has ADHD. So I never was able to sit down, put my fingers together, cross my legs. I would be like, oh, this is torture. This is so torture. So that's why I came up. I don't know. I didn't intentionally come up with these six phrases, but I intuitively downloaded them, and it worked for me. It cleared my mind. It's an active, those six phrases are an active meditation. Stops. I mean, the whole concept of meditating is to clear your mind of thought. Some people look at them as clouds going by. Think of your thoughts as clouds going by. Well, I just want to just clear day. I have a clear, there's no clouds in the sky. So until I download an idea and then I turn it into a thought, use it, don't use it, put it, write it down for later and let it go. I don't want my mind full of thoughts. So people think, well, what happens if you don't think? I said, well, you're going to know.
True. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes, the knowing doesn't come from your thought or your mind, right? The knowing
No,
comes from
it
like, oh, like
doesn't.
somewhere else.
It comes from your awareness. Knowing comes from your awareness.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's so true. Yeah. And thoughts come from our ego.
Yeah. Yeah. Your ego's fine. Ego's great. It's your identity. You can develop your ego. I think the key is any of those tools that we talked about. I look at it as a tool shed or a toolbox in our mind that we use. The problem is when those tools, much like they're talking about AI today, it's a tool.
Yeah.
But so many people are worried. I'm going to be on a podcast in a week or so about you coming from awareness. I mean, AI is a tool, and if you don't use it, it will use you.
Yep.
And what people will be doing, they'll be saying, "Oh, AI said, well, so what? It's a tool. It hallucinates. It oftentimes tells you what your frenemies tells you what you want to hear, not what the truth is. So, like AI, it's artificial intelligence. There's nothing better than natural intelligence. So the whole premise is going to be on how to come from intuition and awareness to use it as a most efficient tool, and know that it's lying to you or it's hallucinating, or knowing that it's giving you, it's just telling you what you want to hear. So you really want to have the awareness and the discernment to challenge it and to use it as it's a great tool. The mind's a great tool. The body's a great tool. Thoughts are great tools. And if you don't use them, they're like weeds. They'll take over your garden. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. Now, for someone who have been struggling, because I was thinking about the six phrases that you shared, because there's one phrase is I am enough, right? Do enough, I am enough, right? So I was just thinking, for it's almost like an affirmation. Someone they look at the mirror and repeat themselves, over and over again. I'm enough. I'm confident. I'm this. I'm that. Right. For someone who have been struggling with low self esteem or a low self confidence, by saying out loud I'm enough, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Well, going to the gym and picking up a barbell and doing it once and saying, "Okay, I'm done. This didn't work." Right? It's the same thing. You have to exercise, and you have to exercise your mind. You have to exercise your body. You have to exercise. So just affirmations work, because even if you say I'm not enough, I don't do enough, and I don't have enough, is an affirmation, and so that is proof that it works. So we have to yeah. So we have to undo what has been done, that we have done, that we've allowed. I like to say that we have the free will to leave 10, and then once we leave 10, everything comes at a cost. We're in duality. So when you leave 10 and you make your own choices, there's a cost to every decision. Not free.
Did you say not free?
Yeah, our will doesn't become free anymore. But when we're aligned, it's free. We're in flow. Things happen. Wow. This is, the best things in life are free, right? Joy, peace, happiness, love, unconditioned love.
Could you share perhaps one example or one story or one testimonial that whatever you talk about work, whether it's a client that you coach or yourself, operating at the level 10 help you attract either like a perfect partner, the right business partner, the deal, the business, I don't know, like, do you have a story?
It's in my book, actually. So, tell the audience how to download my book. My first client was the head of coaching at the Gestalt International Study Center. Um, I don't know how your audience takes this or not, but I also channel people who have crossed over.
Okay.
And so she asked me, "Oh, maybe he'll get one of the people that I just met these people 4 days prior, and someone outed me, and they said, my coach, my teacher, she used to be the head of HR for AT&T World for 30 years, then developed the Gestalt International Study Center with a couple of other people." And she goes, "Oh, maybe he'll get my deceased husband." So I never had done this impromptu in front of people before, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And my intuition says, do it, just do it, stand up. Well, her husband came through and he started talking about, she goes, I asked him, I could hear her, but Ralph, her husband, it was a conversation between them. I'm basically the faucet. Okay. And, I've asked you to find me a man. And Ralph says, I have. And I came out and it just like she met him, and so that's the whole story's in the book. So really don't have a lot of time, but that's one indication that you can't make this stuff up. Using your intuition, strange stuff is going to happen in your life, and it's natural. It's paranormal. It is beyond what our mind can really comprehend, and so I think it's important to really have an open mind and to know that we are these energetic being with spiritual beings having a physical experience, and to be aware, and to know that it's natural. It isn't normal. Okay, it's natural. and to accept yourself. That is who we are, versus going through your whole life denying it. For many years after I figured I could do this stuff, I kept it quiet, and because I didn't want people to think I was strange or weird or crazy or whatever they'd want to call me. But now I know I know I come from a place of intentionality, love, peace, joy, and to help people. So I think it's really important to be intentional and be from a place of loving with really healthy boundaries of yes, no, stay and go. And that's keeping that enough space for others and for yourself to be yourself. Because people want, oftentimes people, they can't be themselves because they want to be like someone else,
Yeah.
or other people want them to be like them. Okay, why can't you be like so and so? Why can't you be like your sister? Why can't you? Because I'm not my. Why can't you be like your brother? You know.
Well, sometimes it's us telling that lie to ourselves, like, why can't I be more like, why can't I be successful like them? Why can't I have what they have, right? I mean, that's what we tell
Well,
ourselves.
you can't be them, so it's a fool's journey, a fool's mission to go be like someone else. Be yourself. And I don't believe in competition. I bake a pie, bake your own pie, and grow it, and grow your pie business. And yeah, be your own competition. Do what you love. When people want to buy it, certainly listen to your customers, and if that's what their demand is, then definitely do it your way. And so this is all practical, common sense. That's not very common. I like to say that our sixth sense is our common sense. All minds are joined. And that's what we all have in common is awareness.
That's beautiful. Well, Steve, thank you so much for your time and sharing so generously with us today. Now, is there anything else that you want to talk about? Perhaps I didn't ask you, didn't let you before we end?
No, I just think we're good. And we had an aha moment today about enough, the universal space. And time is now. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, great book, highly recommended.
Yeah,
Um, Father, the Son, the aha moment. Eckhart talks about the power of now. And what I talk about in the book is the power of enough. And now, the universal time, space, enough. Now is always enough to do whatever you want to do. And you always have now is always enough. You always have enough right now. And that is the foundation to stop building. What is it that now, let me have an idea. This is what I have right now. What is it that I'm going to have to get? Employees, do I have to get more materials? Do I have to get bigger facility? How, if I'm going to grow to my business by X, but 10 times, what do I have? Do I need more vehicles, employees, money? So it's really about working with those elements that we already have and knowing that we are enough and have enough. And if we need more knowledge, then find the books. I mean, we have so much out there right now. All the chat bots, all the search engines. If you don't know how to do something, you just aren't looking hard enough. And then you might not want to do it. You might want to find out how to do it, and you might want to hire someone to do it for you. Yeah, yeah. I know how to do it. I don't want to do it. So
great. Now, tell my people where they can connect with you and learn more about what you do.
on my website, www.steve, S-T-E-V-E, Barton, B-A-R-T-O-N, coaching.com. Scroll down to the bottom and download my book that I wrote with my son when 18, The Father, the Son, and the Aha Moment. It says tools for helping you and your child develop a path to happiness. So I wanted to write the game of 10. My editor said, publisher said, um, what else you got? And I said, I'm writing it with my son. He go, oh, a parenting book. So it's really a Trojan horse for the game of 10. And for those out there who don't have children, read it for your inner child because everyone has an inner child that needs to be healed. Okay, because a lot of people are operating from that age 0 to 7 um, child, and until they let go of those subconscious hurts and pains, it's going to continue. And that's what the altar is for, and that's what the mantras are for. So I've given you everything to do it. It just takes really going to that mental and emotional gym and picking up the barbells and getting on that treadmill more than for 5 minutes and saying, I'm done, and expecting something to happen. It took you a whole life to get where you are. It's going to take the rest of your life to get to where, to stay in that 10 mentality.
I really love the message, and I think that's a beautiful way to end our conversation today. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and thank you so much for joining us today in this conversation. Now I encourage you to connect with Steve, reach out if you have any other questions, and please help me thank him for coming to our podcast today. You will find all the information in the show note below. Again, thanks for listening, and I wish you all a joyful and amazing day ahead. Bye. Thank you again for tuning into Find Joy Joanne podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, take a screenshot and share it on your IG story and tag Find Joy Joanne _podcast so I know you are listening. And leave us a positive review on Apple Podcasts if you haven't already done so. And remember to hit the subscribe button whether you are listening on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, or any of your other favorite platforms. If you love what we are doing and want to become one of our sponsors, you can send me a DM to connect. And thanks for being here. I will see you soon in the next episode.